working, and nope, that's not, where are you? Oh, here we are. And I'll have some music going on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nashville.
I hope it's a good night.
It's a great honor.
There are many that
I hope
weren't.
so too, man.
Here in the listening room and in the hallway that while the music is being played. We do ask that you keep your table conversations to a bare minimum. Unless the noise is directed at these artists in your appreciation, please enjoy the music quietly so that other
Well,
people
he was very nice, charming.
David? Yeah. Which night is it? It wasn't the last
It
one.
is 5/19/25.
at the bass, Harvey S. And leading this band, the great Alan Broadbent.
Putting it on YouTube there. There we go. What a great trio.
Yeah.
gorgeous. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the gorgeous uh, Alan Broadbent. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Kathy. Long time no see.
I know. Long time no hang. I mean, I have seen you actually, but
Yeah.
John Haddon is watching. Hi, John. And Frederick Loiseau, he's a beautiful guitar player in
Ah,
Paris who actually
oh,
last
yeah.
year, do you know him?
I don't know him, but I know his name. Yes.
Yeah, he recorded last year with uh, Melody.
Melody Gardot.
No, no. Damn. Shoot. So Frederick, I just lost her name. Damn. Shoot. D'Ambrosia. Meredith.
Oh,
Meredith
Meredith D'Ambrosio.
Yeah, gosh, that's
Yeah, yeah.
terrible. She's a friend.
Yes. Ah,
Anyway, he said he's such a fan, and it sounds
oh, that's
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So Alan Broadbent, I have to just jump in and ask about that performance and related. I mean, first of all, everybody's plays gorgeously and gorgeously together. I mean, you
Wow.
know, a trio like that is so uh, specific. I don't mean to put it into a box,
Mm.
but it's very sensitive, and it's like I always tell my students, rubato is an art. You know, when you're
Uh-huh.
singing with a piano player, it's an art. It's not just whatever. You know, it's this
Yes.
relationship. Anyway, that trio is gorgeous, and Billy Mintz kills me, man. He was so simple the whole thing, but his time was so incredible. His feel, oh my God.
Well, that's why we love Billy. And you also have to realize that I've been playing like that through the Chick Corea era and the Keith Jarrett era and the all I ever wanted to do was play a lovely melody and swing my ass off. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
And this enables me to. Harvey's musicality,
yeah,
and Billy's always listening, and it's always different. And he's not going to force me into some place that I don't want to be. He
yeah,
just stays right there. And if I happen to build, he'll come with me, but
yeah,
it's a great feeling. And the thing is too, gotta say it, before I started, you could hear the glasses clinking and everybody having a great time and everything. As soon as I put my hands on the keyboard, there's silence.
yeah,
For the next hour, there is silence.
yeah,
And, it's like a shoebox. So everybody's concentrating on that little stage.
yeah,
And it's a wonderful feeling that the energy is a give and take thing between the audience, who are great listeners, and us wanting to put out with the least amount of artifice, without
yeah,
all that other stuff. It's not about me or anybody, it's about us swinging and trying to communicate that feeling to the audience. And another thing with New York, there are young people there listening to these 70-year-old farts and getting that feeling. It's not something that is impressing them, it's moving them. And that's what I've always felt about my need to play this music. And so we get a wide range of listeners there. Not to mention Spike Wilner, who owns and runs the place, and his larger club next door, excuse me, called Smalls.
yeah.
And Spike is a great champion of the music. He plays really great himself.
What does he play?
He's a piano player. You
Uh-huh.
can see him on Mesro playing. But so he cares about the music too, and he makes it possible, affordable for young people to come. They don't have to spend $100 at
Yeah,
wherever the other clubs or They can come and listen to the music, sit up front
Yeah,
and be part of it and experience it like it was supposed to be experienced,
yeah, yeah.
So I'm very
Gorgeous. Yeah.
grateful to play at a place like
Well,
that.
when you came out here and you played, at really, I love that theater. It's,
Yeah.
for Ruth
I
Price.
forgot, Kathy. I forgot. Yes.
That's a beautiful, it's
Yeah.
intimate. It's very intimate, actually, that
Yeah.
room. And yeah, it was so lovely. And I must confess that I was sitting there thinking, okay, Alan Broadbent, he's doing what you were describing. He's just playing the beautiful music, and it's not like you're boring. It's like you're creating, but
Yeah.
you're playing that style. And I'll tell you
Well, Kathy, I'd prefer to, if I could quote my mentor, Lenny Tristano, it's not a style we're talking about, it's a feeling.
Hmm,
And so if it doesn't have that feeling, well, Duke Ellington was serious when he wrote, "It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing." It's not just a title, it means something so that, and it's something that carries through from Louis Armstrong, etc., Bird, that wonderful life force that Lenny also called it, this thing that makes us move. And it can be also an intellectual musical experience combined with this feeling. So that all together, to me, makes a complete picture of the music for me. Because
so are you saying you don't use that word style?
no,
Huh,
I don't like to.
yeah.
The style is in the style of Chick Corea. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's hard to do a style with Keith, but it it doesn't have any licks. There are no licks.
Uh-huh.
They're just making music.
Doesn't have any licks.
Uh-huh.
There
Whoops,
are no
sorry.
licks.
Sorry.
They're just making music. Doesn't have any licks.
I
What
am
is it?
turning my sound off. Thank you. Oh, you know who else is watching?
Uh-oh.
Jim Hewitt.
Jim. Oh, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Jim.
Ah.
You're, you're still alive, Jim.
Wow, Jim Hewitt. Hi.
We toured
Gosh.
with Natalie Cole together.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
There's
great.
a great
Great
bass
musician.
player, right?
Oh, what a great musician.
Yeah.
A
Wow.
great arranger. And well, that's enough about Jim. That's
Oh my God.
no.
Yeah, that's that's interesting about the word. And I'm gonna think about that from now on. I mean, you know, there's a lot of I think a lot of people who are wise talk about the feel of the music, and but I've never heard it quite like that. Um, not talking about style, but actually
Well,
like
also if you want to work in Los Angeles, you have to be able to play a variety of styles, especially in the studio situation.
yeah,
You have to be somebody else.
yeah.
And I never could do that. I was hopeless at it. And I just go into my little corner and pretend to be Bud Powell. So that's all I cared about.
Yeah.
And my arranging, which is another story altogether.
Well, that's probably the heavier area where you made money, I'm guessing.
At times, yeah, but I never made a career out of it. I never could make that phone call or whatever you needed to do to keep it going. I just waited by the phone and hoped for the best. And people like Natalie liked what I do, and a few. There's another Cole that I just wrote for. Wonderful singer, not particularly jazz, but her beautiful voice, Stella Cole.
Oh,
We have an album called It's Magic that I wrote a string orchestra for her, and that she sings them with conviction, these beautiful old songs, only they're all new to her and her audience. She's in her young 20s,
Oh,
and
I
she has
see.
a million TikTok followers, and
Ah,
she reads them the lyrics and how, oh, listen to this and listen to the strings, and it's all this new experience from these 80-year-old tunes,
wow.
which is marvelous about these songs too, because you can bring them up into the present and make them your own.
Yeah,
They have that
yeah.
that way of um, I don't know of transmogrification or whatever the word is. I can't think of it, but it's uh, it's something that you can make your own. That's
Yeah,
all. So
yeah,
that when I play this particular standard and somebody else plays it, it'll be totally different.
yeah.
Essentially the same core song, though, So, and
But
it's
really,
all
that's kind of the only music that really does it, isn't it?
well, yeah, because I don't have any
Songs.
arrangements.
Yeah.
I'll play East of the Sun tomorrow, and it will be totally different.
I noticed that with, did I mention this, All the Things You Are?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you played All the Things You Are at
It went
Berklee,
out, didn't it? It went out.
it was
Harvey and
gorgeous.
I looked at each other like, where was that? What happened? We're open to anything as long as it's based on that feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
And with the two of us, we don't need a ding, ding, a ding, ding, a ding, because it's the pulse inside of us,
yeah, yeah.
between us and the audience. You
Right,
know.
right.
So, yeah.
So, you're from New Zealand, right?
Yes.
But you have no accent anymore, so you must have left a long time ago.
A couple of years ago, when I was 19, I went
Yeah.
to Berklee School. But even when, as a child, uh, the American accent was always very clear and, in a way, musical to me. So
Huh.
I had that in my ear when I arrived at Boston. And with a New Zealand accent, at the coffee shop with all the other guys, I couldn't order a sandwich because they'd just go to the next guy. Okay, enough of him. So I learned to say tuna, tuna on rye with mayo. So that before I knew it, I became this language. Although people do tell me, even my son, every now and then I do have a certain inflection
Yeah.
that's of New Zealand sing-songy stuff. But
I'm from Boston. My dad had a kind of, some words. It wasn't like a thorough Boston accent, but like for fork, he would say fork
yeah,
or, that kind of
oh my
thing.
God.
And I still say the thing that you pull out of the bureau, I say that's a draw,
Yeah,
which my husband always made fun of me. It's not a draw, it's a drawer. How do you say
drawer.
drawer?
Oh, I
I
never heard
don't do
that
that.
one.
But yeah, what year were you at Berkeley or years?
I was there January of 66 in the Great Blizzard of 66. I'd never seen snow.
66. Yeah, that okay, so 66. Okay, I thought we had some earlier ones too, like 5 years before that. There was like, I mean, the snow was like up over my head, in Boston.
How would you know 5 years before that?
I don't know. I was told about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but you stayed a while, right?
No, I stayed there for 3 years and then I joined Woody Herman's band.
Oh, okay.
Needed a gig.
Yeah.
So that ended that.
66. Boy, Berkeley was pretty small at that point.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very personal
Special.
and personable, and
Yeah.
everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
Great players.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Peter Donald,
Hmm.
one of the greatest drummers. Mick Goodrick.
Yeah.
All
Mick.
these guys. Yeah,
I love Mick, man.
yeah, we all did.
Yeah. He was incredible. I have a funny little story about Mick. So I had a friend who was a guitar player, and he was studying with Mick, and for the first 6 months, like he would go over to Mick's apartment, and for the first 6 months, he never took his guitar out of the
I believe
box. And then,
it.
so one day Mick said, hey, why don't you pull your guitar out? And my friend was like a nervous wreck, you know. and and Mick said, play me something. So he played, and then Mick said, play me something you're afraid of playing. And my friend, you know, he was trying everything, right? And he noticed that Mick was started kind of looking out the window, kind of like this, you know. And so he stopped, and and Mick said, "How did this go?" He said, "Yeah." So Mick said, "So what were you afraid of playing?" And he said, "I don't know. You know, I'm not sure." And Mick said, "Space." And my friend never forgot that. I mean, that was such an incredibly tangible lesson for him, you know.
Yeah,
And I think when I think of Mick, I think of that kind of thing. You know, he was so philosophical and such an amazing player, and you know what a great perspective he had, right?
yeah, I loved Mick.
Yeah.
We had a trio together with George
Uh-huh.
Mraz, sometimes a quartet at a place called My Apartment Lounge,
Oh,
the Hotel Vendôme. Um,
wow.
that's that history.
Yeah.
Then I joined Woody Herman.
Woody Herman.
Yeah, well, that was a different band then. It was really Steve Lederer, one of the tenor players, when I got on the bus my first day. He pulled me by the coattails and he said, "You heard of Woody's Thundering Herd?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Well, this is the worst you ever heard." Yeah, it was too.
Oh, why
But
was that? Was that towards
got
the end
terrible
of the band,
players,
or oh,
just awful, and
yeah.
not good. So a couple of us decided to do some blood, sweat, and tears charts. Bloody awful now that I think about it. But high school kids and stuff caught on to it, and Woody said,
Oh,
"Oh, what's this? Hey, we were doing that." But
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I remember when I went to Berkeley. Yeah, Blood, Sweat, and Tears was happening at that time. I went
yeah,
in 72 to 75.
Blue
And
Solo.
yeah, and that and what was happening, while I was there that I was aware of was Blood, Sweat, and Tears. ECM was kind of having a surge,
Yeah,
so Weather Report and Keith Jarrett and Pat Metheny and Bob Moses. Oh, I loved Bob Moses. So, and then of course we were coming out of the Motown period too. It was an interest. Boston had a real mix of
yeah,
music happening.
yeah,
It's
that's
good.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Andy McGee was my teacher because at the
Andy.
time I went, they didn't have vocal. I had been a vocalist all my life, but I also played flute, and that's how I got in. So, yeah, Andy McGee was my teacher.
Huh. We had Herb Pomeroy and Muzzy, but but
Who's Muzzy?
Ray Santisi.
Oh, I never heard that name with for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People from that era knew him.
Yeah.
But he didn't like me so much because I was going down every week to study with Lenny. And I remember getting cornered by John Laporter one time in the elevator with his students. "Why are you studying with that a-hole for? I'm sorry, Mr. Laporter."
Why was that?
Well, I guess they had a falling out for some
Oh,
musical
okay.
reason or something.
Yeah.
At that time that John Laporter was working with him, he was a bit of a, um, not a nice man, let's put it that way. Very strict.
Yeah.
Um, but he was changed by the time I was studying with him.
Yeah.
And I could already swing. I could already play.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of applying his
Yeah.
philosophy to my playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I didn't sound like him. So that was another thing that he probably liked. Yeah.
That's that's pretty interesting too, you know. You study
Well,
with a
I
guy
was
like
doing the
that.
I was doing the My Apartment Lounge gig and going to school and going down to see Lenny. I remember some of his students came up to Boston and they came to where I was playing and they wanted to sit in, so they sat in and they started doing all their little Lenny kind of stuff, and I had to go back after they played and play Girl from Ipanema and stuff. And I was a bit down when I saw Lenny the next week. And he said, "Why? What's the matter?" And I said, "Well, and they cornered me, those same guys, like, what do you got to play that crap for, And I told Lenny, and Lenny just said to me, "How did you feel when you were playing Girl from Ipanema?" I said, "I felt great." He said, "Well, what the F do you care about what they think?" And that was at 19. I'm going, "Oh, yeah, I don't have to care what they think." I was just a green little fellow from New Zealand. But
So,
again, then I joined Woody's band, and that everything. So,
I think the first time I heard you play live, I'm pretty sure it was at Dante's with Irene Kral.
Irene, yeah,
And there was nobody in the room except Carmen and Sarah.
yeah, I
And I was
remember.
the waitress.
I remember.
And then I found out that Irene was sick. And then I heard you guys play some other time. I mean, that was a night that I would never forget. Um, yeah, it was amazing night. Yeah.
Yeah, Irene. Well, I guess Mike Wooford had moved to San Diego, and she needed a piano player, and it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
I got called, and I went over to her house. Um, uh, Unfortunately for me, in that period of my life, well, I keep mentioning Woody more than anybody needs to know, but I was a down and out drunk.
Oh,
I got off the band, and it took me until Irene died for me to try and take care of myself.
oh, wow.
But, even when I recorded with her, I always managed to sober up the next day, but the
Yeah, yeah,
cycle would begin again.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, that's half of those memories I don't remember. So,
Yeah.
I
Amazing.
do remember her, of course.
She was amazing. People used to tell me that my tone was like her, and I had never heard her before. My dad was a sax player, so I had grown up listening to a lot of music, but I had never heard Irene.
Yeah.
It wasn't in his wheelhouse. So, um, but what a plaintive, incredible singer. A little bit reminiscent to me of Stephanie Haynes. Just this very
Oh,
natural, beautiful tone and natural point of view and you know connection to the music.
yes, she grew up with Roy and with Jackie, so
Yeah,
she had a lot of roots in
yeah,
that music. She was on Maynard Ferguson's band. Uh,
she was. Oh,
yeah,
oh, wow.
she was the chick singer.
Oh, let me just mention to people listening that so we're talking about Irene Kral, the great jazz singer, and she was cousins to Roy and Jackie Kral, who were really big, I'd say in the 60s or something, right?
Sorry, Roy was her brother,
Oh, oh, oh,
and
oh,
Jackie was
okay.
Roy's wife. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah. Was it the 60s they were really big
Yes.
in, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then we recorded around 74, a solo album,
Oh,
There Is
okay.
Love.
Right in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right in that time that I saw you guys. Hi, Serge. Serge Merlot is watching from Paris as well. Do you know him? He's Tierney's husband.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Another guitarist, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hi, Serge.
I went to Gary and I, my husband and I went to Paris a few years ago, and we went over to Serge's place, and Frederick and Serge and Thomas, I forget Thomas's last name. Anyway, three guitar players and me, singing. And Gary said, "Oh God, there's no sleeping with her tonight." Because, oh my
With
God,
all the music's in there.
guitar. Oh, I'm in guitar heaven. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Um, but anyway, so
I was just thinking, I don't know why, you
yeah,
told me it's all stream of consciousness, but I remember the day that she died. She had terrible cancer
yeah,
issues and stuff. And her boyfriend at the time, Dennis Smith, who was a DJ on K Jazz or whatever it was called, excuse my voice. They were with her at the hospital there on Northridge or something, and I got a call because they needed a break.
yeah.
They wanted to go to the bar and get a beer or something, and they called me and, Alan, can you come over and sit with her? So I remember I came in, and you go into that sort of waiting room lounge area, and the individual rooms are offset from that, and all the TV was on. A couple, three TVs around, playing some ball game, football game or something, and not really quietly either. No.
Huh.
So, but anyway, I went in and I just sat with her, and she was really basically a skeleton with
Mm,
it's over her, and she was lying there quietly. And I'll never forget, there was a sudden roar of the crowd from the TVs and everything. And Irene went from this comatose state. She woke up and started to get out of bed. I mean, she could hardly. Obviously, she thought that they were cheering for her to come back for an encore.
oh my
Now,
God.
I've got to go. And thank God at that time, Dennis and Roy came back, and
Yeah.
we lifted her back into bed.
Wow.
She was already there in that place. Never forget that. And she
Wow.
died that night.
Oh
So,
gosh.
yeah, anyway,
Wow. That's a
Irene.
special memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever play with Stephanie Haynes?
I think a couple of gigs, like how we do
Yeah,
gigs,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you go on to the next.
yeah. Well, um, then there's been Natalie Cole, Irene Kral, and I, you know, I'm not good about reading my
Oh, I'm not
guests.
good about remembering all these people. Well, Ruth Price, dear Ruth, who I
You
love.
played with her?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. When she first
Oh,
had that club,
yeah,
uh, the original place over at the bakery,
yeah, yeah.
we did quite a few things together. And
Wow, that was a long time ago because she stopped
yeah,
singing, you know,
yeah.
along the way. Yeah,
She
she was a
stopped
great
singing after playing with me. She couldn't take it anymore.
singer. And then you did that really beautiful, you've done this really beautiful work with Georgia Mancio.
Oh, Georgia. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't know anybody
that's
knew
a
that.
really, I do. Yeah, I know Georgia
Yeah.
and I even have the music actually. And
Oh,
yeah, it's a really beautiful creation of work that you guys did. Really beautiful.
well, those are tunes that I had written since back in the day.
Yeah.
That had no, I was writing those tunes when Chick Corea was doing Spain and everything, and I'm going with my little pencil, trying to figure out how to write a standard tune. But I was more interested in writing traditional standard tunes that were new,
Mm-hmm.
not a copy of something that existed, but something within that genre, if you like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that hadn't been heard before.
Yeah.
I had melodies um, from that time until this time that Georgia heard. They really had no place to go, and
Yeah.
Georgia gave them a life.
Yeah.
One of the few was a tune of mine called Heart's Desire, which
Uh-huh.
I remember going over to Frischberg's place, playing it for him the night that I was satisfied with it. I gave him a call,
Oh.
went over, and there's two men there in his living room having a good cry. And he, the next week or so, he came up with a lyric and came over to my place. And we had another big cry. He'd written for his two sons. So, but the point is that all I need is Taylor Swift to sing it, and I'm fine. But no, there's there's a few jazz singers that do
I
it
see.
better.
I'm looking, and it looks like, well, when I bring up Heart's Desire, I don't know if this is right. Rosemary Clooney comes up,
Yeah,
Jim Jim Caruso, Scott Hamilton,
yeah.
um,
Oh,
oh, Mary Foster Conklin,
mhm.
Eric Luthauser.
Oh yes, Eric from France. Perhaps Serge knows him.
Yeah.
But the
Um,
one you're not mentioning is one of my favorite. Uh,
Dina DeRose.
no, we better be careful. One of my favorites is Sheila Jordan.
Oh.
Sheila and Harvey got me the gig in the early 90s to come to New York. I wrote some string quartet charts for her. And that was the first time I met Sheila. And she sings every note because it's very hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Now,
we
do
went
you
over to the,
mind if I play one of these? Like, should I play the Georgia one or?
yeah, oh, this, the other one that I think of is beautiful, that nobody really talks about now, is Sue Rainey. Wonderful
Oh,
Sue.
okay. I'm gonna put that. I don't know if it comes up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything on YouTube now.
Okay. So it does come up. So I'm
Oh,
gonna play that. I mean, you know, here.
sure.
We're gonna play that.
Hi, Sue.
That's not it. That's the ad. Here we go. The beautiful Sue Rainey.
If you should decide to seek your special dream, your heart's desire, nothing you can ever do will bring more joy to you.
Wow, beautiful with strings. Woo.
And if you're wise, you'll recognize your guiding theme, your heart's desire. Follow that, and you may make your dearest dream come true. But if you seek your heart's desire, your heart may break. That That's the risk your dreams require. The chance you take, the choice you make, and soon enough the seasons start to slip away. So seize the day, and if the fates are kind, then you will find your heart's desire.
Did you arrange this also, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you seek your heart's desire, then your heart may break. That's the risk your dreams require. It's the chance you take, the choice you make, and soon enough the seasons start to slip away. So seize the day, dream your dream and make it grow. You're luckier than most you know. Lucky to be living for your heart's desire.
That's beautiful. Okay, I'm sorry, but I just have to check this out really quickly.
Yeah.
Amazon Zero is
Carol
the first thing that
Sloan.
made sense for my life. I didn't demand
Sorry,
I become someone I'm
Amazon.
not.
I don't want to
Zero, so
get okay. Carol Sloan, or
If you should decide to seek your special dream,
nice, beautiful.
your heart's desire, nothing you can ever do will bring more joy to you.
What a great singer, huh? Carol Sloan. Yeah.
And if you're wise, you recognize your guiding theme, your heart's desire. Follow that, and you may make your dearest dream come true. But if you seek your heart's desire, your heart may break. That's the risk your dreams require. The chance you take, the choice you make, and soon enough the seasons start to slip away. So seize the day, and if the fates are kind, then you will find your heart's desire.
That's beautiful. I had to play her because
Oh
she's
yeah.
just she's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
really wonderful singer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm very honored that all of them uh,
Yeah.
got something out of the song, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a really pretty song. It really
beautiful lyrics.
stays in the head. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful lyric. Very beautiful lyric. Yeah.
And to me too, writing a tune is it has to stay in your head.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
to have something in it that makes it that
Yeah.
embeds itself in your soul, you know.
Yeah. By the way, Judy Silvano is here.
Ah,
Hi, Jude. Judy, I owe you a phone call. You're on my long list. I love her. Um, Taylor Hatch, a guitarist, a young guitarist who went to North Texas. He asks some great questions. I'm going to see if I can look at some of these questions. Let's see. Well, here's one. In terms of thinking like a chordal player, do you have a favorite type of discovery that you uncovered for yourself? Maybe was it with Lenny Tristano or something else?
well, yeah. I would say first of all, obviously, Bill Evans,
Hmm.
who introduced new harmonies for
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
and but Lenny had his own special style, if you like style. Um, he has a version of Melancholy Baby,
yeah,
uh, expands and becomes very dissonant, talking about being free on such an old tune. So I'd say between those two, I also learned a few things from George Shearing, the books that he has, but especially the books I had of Dave Brubeck, um, the ones that included Strange Meadowlark and Home at Last, the original The Duke, and Summer. Um, oh, I can't remember the titles. But all these things, when I was like 15 or so, I would say I was a pretty good sight reader. I would play them through and discover harmonies and stuff that I'd never heard before, you know, that just thrilled me to be able to play them and to find ways of using them. I had to learn, though, that whatever voicings they are, that, you know, they look like that, chord like that.
yeah,
I had to learn how to uh, play them horizontally. In other words, know the scales that those chords belong to and how to build them, build my own chords. And so that was also a discovery that these chords had scales to them as well, you know, and that tied everything together for me. And I still exercise like that. I sit down at the piano and just go through chords, relating them to each other freely, just to get the sound of them. Because chords, along with melody and that feeling, it's the chords that produce the emotion. So when I go from one beautiful chord to another unexpectedly, it can subliminally communicate to my Mesro audience, you know, and to be open and vulnerable to be able to do that and not have things worked out, which I don't. I don't have any arrangements when I play, as opposed to the arranger in the that's very serious about the orchestra, and took me years to find my place with an orchestra and not be a piano player.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know? Whereas John Williams, right from the get-go, he's an orchestra.
Yeah.
For me, it took a long time to break away from that and hear an orchestra with the same feeling that I hear a piano,
Yeah. Yeah.
and be able to translate it immediately through woodwinds or strings or horns, whatever.
Yeah. I love to hear you talk about horizontal as opposed to vertical. I actually use that idea when I teach students about singing, whether it's scatting or singing the song. I actually tell them, you know, great ideas. Here's a great idea. Then here's another great idea and another great idea. That's to me, that's like vertical thinking, but I want to hear horizontal thinking.
There you go.
Yeah, I want you to be on a little river, on a boat, and it's moving, and
Yeah.
you're noticing oh yeah, oh there's another, So
It's not chord to chord. It's something moving through the chords. And I think I had a small tour with her. One of the great experiences of my life was accompanying Carmen
Mm,
McRae.
yeah,
Carmen knew every note in the scale of a chord,
mm,
so she could change it every night.
yeah,
If I gave her, she would just run up and down that, whatever I fed her.
yeah,
It was so incredible to hear her do that. And I wish a lot of singers had that kind of training when they take up jazz or whatever it is they want. Because, I hear a lot of scatting that goes on. They have no idea of the horizontal lines that go through the vertical chords, and
yeah.
it's something that has to be experienced and have
Well,
experienced.
first of all, Carmen. Yeah. I mean, she's probably to me the queen of phrasing.
Yeah,
She can leave a space,
yeah.
but you still are like, you know,
Yeah.
there with her because her intention is to communicate, the whole idea. But
And
also, the other thing that I try and stimulate in people, along with the horizontal thinking, is what expecting the next chord. That makes all the difference. It's like a magic wand, and I tell them that it's like, you're not just waiting for the player to play the
no.
chord. You're on the same path. You're moving together, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Well,
Uh,
a lot of mistakes I hear by singers that don't really know that.
yeah.
They do what's called back phrasing. And
Yes.
so they think that that's stretching but they back phrase over into a new chord, the
Mm-hmm.
old melody or whatever they're singing, and it doesn't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Carmen, there's a wonderful, I always am amazed by it. She does live at Black Magic. I think it might be Pat Coyle or something,
Yeah.
trio.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this tempo, and she's just gliding over it. And when there's a change of chord, she brings the melody together just before that, and so it's this
Yeah.
always stretching the time.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what jazz is to me, that experience.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she was something.
Yeah.
What we haven't mentioned is, forgive me, only because he was an important part of my life,
Yeah.
was Charlie Hayden and
Yeah.
Quartet West with
Right.
Ernie.
Right. I interviewed Ernie. That was a great interview. I was very surprised, actually. I didn't expect him to be so philosophical. He's
Oh,
quite
Ernie.
philosophical, and spiritual,
I was on the road with him for 25 years. I know all about those philosophies. We spent some wonderful jet lag breakfasts in France or wherever talking about that and stuff.
But
Yeah, I
anyway,
miss.
I'm sorry I interrupted you,
Yeah.
but
No, no, nothing to
yeah.
say. Just
Charlie Hayden, yeah.
I loved Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie had a terrible monkey on his back, but he was a very brave man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
that he would always fight his way out of it, and come back to the music.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of some of the music that I played with him, So, and he got me my first gigs in Europe. I was almost 40 years old and I'd never been out of the States,
Wow.
Suddenly I'm in Paris and playing, wherever.
That's cool.
Italy, with Charlie. Yeah.
I bring him up sometimes. There is a John Scofield record he's on, or there's probably a few, but anyway, this one, it's kind of a groove record, or group this song, and another teaching tool I use, and so they're grooving along. John takes a great solo, Scofield solo. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
Great guitar solo, a lot of notes, but good, tasteful.
Right ones.
Yeah, and then it's Charlie's turn, and what does he play? Whole notes,
Oh,
and it's perfect.
yeah.
And I always bring that up because I'm trying to get the singers to just be themselves,
Mhm.
and because when you're truly being who you are, it's perfect.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Charlie was making a statement with that or not.
Oh, I don't know if he was, but I mean,
Many nights.
that's what he heard.
No, I remember one night the promoter said, "Well, we don't have time for a sound check," and it's in Italy, and there's 2,000 people.
Oh boy.
This, wonderful Italian theater. And we
Yeah.
start playing the first tune, and it's feeling great, and everything starts to just suddenly fall apart. Charlie stops playing whatever, and Charlie gives this whistle. Okay, sound check. And in front of 2,000 people, we have a 15-minute sound check, and the Italians are throwing things and booing.
Really? Oh my God.
It was fun until Charlie got the exact sound that he wanted, because he couldn't play
Yeah.
if it wasn't that sound that he created.
Yeah.
It was different than what he was hearing.
Yeah.
Play. Well, I'm that way too in a certain way, except I have to, mumble through. But if the piano's not feeling right or something, you suddenly become self-conscious.
Yeah.
Your instrument or your fingers, it takes you outside of yourself. And
It's so true.
yeah,
It's speaking of Sue Rainey before. So, as a singer, I'm always going through, it's a hard instrument, the voice. Anyway, so there was a period of time where I just was so uncomfortable with what I was hearing on the mic and stuff. And I found out, well, Calabria Foti told me that Sue told her that she actually, like, I don't know how long she did this, maybe later, but she took the mic quite far away so she could hear more of herself in
yeah,
the space. And that was very helpful to hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sue is such a pro.
Yeah.
She was in the studios as a studio singer too.
Yeah.
So
She
marvelous.
was perfect, man. What a beautiful sound, intonation. I remember when I was working at Dante's, she sang da 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 da, or is that the song? It's like that's not right. That has words, right? That's the one she sang.
I
I
think
don't
it does, yeah. David Rose. There's another special man. Love David. I worked for David a lot.
I don't know him.
Oh, well, he's long gone.
Yes, was he the composer of that, or?
Yeah, he was the composer of things like Bonanza,
Oh,
um, Little House on the Prairie,
oh,
everything. Magnificent guy.
yeah.
And, he and Nelson Riddle were the two guys I worked for,
Oh,
actually, in the studios.
yeah.
Who, because they were of a certain era, they liked guys that could sight read and swing. And why would they want that? Because Nelson was never happier than after this is long after Sinatra.
Yeah.
He was never happier than he'd come over and the trio or quartet with a guitar would stay behind and he'd bring out his little sheet music of tunes he had written for the occasion. And we'd be the small combo that when whoever is driving up the Pacific Coast Highway turns the radio on and there's this little combo playing and it's us. And Nelson would just sit there beside me. Well, let's try this one. And we would swing away. It was such a wonderful thing. David liked that too. And I learned a lot from those guys.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Nelson. I mean, I don't know of David, but I know that music. Yeah, like the songs you mentioned, they were standout pieces of music actually. And to me, I mean, but Nelson Riddle, of course, I mean, wow, just
yeah, well, also with YouTube being what it is today, where you can see everything,
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Videos of Nelson. If I had known when I knew Nelson what I know now,
yeah.
I, you know, I would have been in such awe. I wouldn't have been able to play. But he was an enigmatic man, as a lot of us knew.
Yeah,
But he loved me, and it was returned. I loved him dearly.
yeah,
They're great musicians, not bullshit or anything. They wrote their own music, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So, let's see. Oh, Taylor has another question or a comment. Brad Meldau is a friend, and something I remember him telling me along the lines was paraphrasing how much faith and reliance in the self is significant to moving towards the movement in things.
My goodness, Taylor.
He's good.
I I never had enough technique. I let my technique go when I was with Woody, and for the next 10 years, I was able to, with Nelson,
Uh-huh.
bullshit my way through all this.
Yeah.
But I was a good reader, and I could add enough. But when I got well, I started to take my practicing seriously. Jim, if you're still here, would remember every time we'd finish up a Natalie Cole concert, I'd be over at the piano going, because I didn't. Now I've got enough. But the thing I think Taylor is also talking about, once you have all all your chords, all your scales, your technique is fluent, then it's about hearing. And Brad hears what he plays. There's none of that. It's hearing a note-to-note feeling. Keith is the same way I feel in his later years with his trio. And that's a matter of all these things coming together and doing away with the consciousness and coming into the subconscious realm of who you are and what you feel. And that's where Lenny was great, because even though I might not have had technique that I wished I had at that time, I was always able to connect what I'm hearing with what I'm playing.
Hmm.
Now it's very dangerous because sometimes it completely can let you down. And, I just go home feeling like crap, but other nights it'd be euphoric. But as I'm approaching the prime of my life, those moments become more frequent, especially at a place like Mesro.
Yeah.
I can't wait for my gig at Mesro.
Yeah.
As soon as I sit down, I have nothing to worry about. I know the piano, and I
Yeah.
know Harvey, and I know Billy, and I know the audience. There's everybody's listening. There's no one sitting there like looking like,
Yeah.
okay, show me. There's none of that. It's just we're all together in this feeling, creating some beauty.
Yeah.
and some hard swinging stuff
Yeah.
too. But there you go.
Judy said, Sheila loved you, Alan, and always told me how excited she was to play with you. That was beautiful and generous.
Yeah, she was Miss Sheila. Judy Niemek.
Judy
Oh,
Silvano.
oh, I'm sorry, Judy. Yes, of course. Oh, yeah, yeah. We had some special times.
I wonder if I can
Ellen,
find you guys.
Ellen.
I'm
And she
gonna
grew.
try to
She
find you.
fell in love with my son, Asher.
Oh, really?
Asher and her were very close. Asher's 26, gonna be 26.
Oh.
Big hunk of a guy, Hulk. Don't know where that came from, but anybody gives me any crap like it. This guy right here. But they were very close.
Did you ever know Frank Severino?
Oh, Frank, yes.
Yeah, okay, so last night I went to a little gig at this church. I don't know if you remember Lanny Morgan. I'm sorry, Lanny Hartley, the pianist.
No.
Okay, so he's older than 80 now, so I just figured you would remember him. But he has this little jazz vespers gig once a month.
Well,
So
I
I went.
played the Jazz Vespers years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
An ongoing thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
So anyway, I went to see him, and Kendall Kay was the drummer, and
Kendall.
um I don't know, I'm not sure if you'd know anybody else, but anyway, so after the gig, standing down talking to Keith Fidmont, the sax player, and this guy was standing next to me, kind of in the last pew there, and he was looking at me, and I said hello, and he looked kind of like familiar to me, and then he said, "Do you know who I am?" And as soon as he said that, I saw the little boy who was Frank Severino's son, and
Oh,
who is now, a grown man and stuff. But uh, man, we talked for an hour. It was like, he was a total sweetheart, and Frank was such a good friend of mine.
well,
So,
Frank also was Irene's favorite drummer, so we worked a lot together.
oh,
Yeah, he was
oh,
very, very kind to me, when I was a little shit. And yeah, who else was very, very kind to me? I've never forgotten. Was a friend of Irene's, and everybody was the great, great drummer, percussionist Larry Bunker.
oh yeah,
Larry was, yeah, I'll never forget. It's those guys and women that, you know, give you that feeling, I don't know, that you have something to offer them. And, you
yeah.
know,
You're kind of in the crowd.
yeah.
Jake Hanna was that for me.
Jake,
He's
yeah,
he was so kind to me, and also Conti Condoli, and
Auntie.
those guys were. I mean, part of growing up with a musician in the family and going to rehearsals and stuff. I mean, I felt that feeling, but my sister and I went down to the jazz workshop in Boston, and we saw the Modern Jazz Quartet. We sat right in the front row. After that, I was totally sold. I mean, talk about the feeling of
Yeah.
that feeling and the
Milt.
quality and their relationship and how they presented themselves. And I was absolutely sold. It was like, okay, that's it. This is
Yep.
this is my religion.
I remember those epiphanies that I had. Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna play a little bit of you and Sheila.
One,
This was
Abby Lincolnsburg alone. Bird alone, flying high, flying through a clouded sky, sending soulful mournful sounds flying over troubled grounds. Bird alone with no mate, turning corners, tempting fate. Flying circles in the sky. Are you on your way somewhere? Gliding, soaring overhead. You're a sight of glory. Fly away up there so high. I wonder what's your story. Bird alone, flying low over where the grasses grow, swinging low, then out of sight. You'll be singing in the night for Abby Lincoln.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Now you
beautiful.
see, okay, so she's 90 years old
Yeah,
and she's lost some of her voice, but her time.
yeah,
See, that's what I'm talking about, is that I'm relating to her as a horn player.
yeah.
It's this beautiful swinging time that she has. Uh-oh, what have you got there?
Uh-oh.
And if you've ever missed anybody very, very badly,
That.
Okay. Oh my God, look how young you were.
No, back in the day.
This is the great Irene Kral for those of you listening. And one of the prettiest songs.
in the evening, when the kettle dance for tea, and also let your feelings settle down on me, and in your face I see another me that you are there, in a garden, when I stop at your name, and feel the petals of your face against my nose. I smile, and I suppose that somehow maybe you are there. When I'm dreaming, and I find myself awake without a warning, then I run my eyes and decide. And now at once I realize it's fun, and the fantasy stays alive. My dearest I often think there's just one thing to do.
Wow. Beautiful.
When I'm dreaming
That was a gorgeous
and
solo.
I find myself awake without a warning, then and all at once I there's just one thing to do. Pretend the dream was true. And tell myself that you
Wow. That was gorgeous. She was great, but you were gorgeous, and your solo was, oh my
Well,
God.
he- nobody would believe me, but I couldn't even play a C major scale at that time. I could not. But I always had my
What,
heart.
what do you mean by that? You just couldn't, you didn't know scales,
I
or what
didn't
does
know
that
them,
mean?
I just couldn't play them. I couldn't be bothered practicing them. But I always had harmony, and I was always listening to Irene, although it's a bit over recorded, the piano.
Your solo, though, was like,
Well,
it was
yeah, I had that.
that incredible. Talking about horizontal, you
Yeah,
know, I really got the horizontal movement of everything and connection. Oh,
I still
gorgeous.
remember.
Um,
I remember that the night at Dante's, I was at the bar, where
oh,
else, between sets, and Dave Frischberg came running in, like all excited. You know, I got this, honey, I'll talk to you in a minute.
wow, that's a nice.
So, see, I've got this new lyric. It's called "You Are There," and I went over to Dave's place again, and Dave told me, oh no, Johnny told me, Johnny
Yeah.
Mandel told me that he was driving from somewhere San Diego to LA, and it just came to him out of the blue, the whole thing. He said from start to finish, and he could remember it.
Did he
And
wait? Did he had the music already, or I mean, Johnny
no,
Mercer's?
no, it's
He
Frischberg.
had the music, and
It's
did Frischberg write the melody too, or the music?
no, he wrote the lyrics.
Right.
Mandel wrote the
Oh,
melody.
Mandel. So did he
Yeah.
have the music? Was he listening to the music, or did he just write the lyrics right away
Oh no,
before?
no. Sorry about the misunderstanding. Johnny wrote the tune on his
Yes.
trip from wherever he was and
Oh,
got home,
Johnny. Okay.
and then gave it to
Okay.
Dave. So
Okay.
it's a whole history of that. And Irene was the first to sing it. Dave
Oh,
presented it to Irene. Yeah. And so
it's a gorgeous song. I recorded it with Larry Coons.
Larry,
It's just,
yeah.
oh, it's so
Boy,
beautiful. Yeah,
Larry is
Larry.
coming to his own. Man.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes. He's brilliant. Yeah, really
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. So there you go. There you have it.
Um, yeah. Taylor is loving your stuff. He's sang all kinds of beautiful kudos. It's amazing hearing your contrapuntal and harmonic choices, super expressive and lush in your
Hey,
tuba.
Taylor, I need 1 million of you to show up at every gig. Mm,
What else? I mean, he comes up with wonderful, wonderful ideas.
Well, that's
Yeah,
he's involved. He listens,
he is.
knows how to listen, which is
Yeah,
half the battle for people like us.
yeah.
So,
Do you teach at a school or have you?
yes, in fact, on Wednesday, every Wednesday and Friday, I take the train in from Orange, New Jersey, about a half an hour, and I walk
Uh-huh.
down Broadway to NYU, the jazz department
Okay.
there. And I have private
Hmm.
students all afternoon. And for me, it's from my life in LA to this, even at my age, my going to the train, giving the conductor my ticket, going into the Lincoln Tunnel, coming out at Penn Station, and walking for a half an hour, 30 blocks down to school is so stimulating to me. The feeling of the city, ever since I was a boy, I knew I belonged in New York. Even all my years in LA, I wanted to be here. Every time I'd get off the plane in a taxi into the city, I'd see the skyline and things would, all this tingling would happen. And so, I'm now able to teach the little things that I know about the music I care about. And I have 20-year-old students who are playing the same tunes, the same bebop lines, you know. Okay, so they do things in 11/8 and whatever that I can't possibly even envision, but they come down to that thing and they want to know about the feeling. And that's the hardest thing, especially for piano players, because horn players naturally go for the feeling, as do singers. But piano players, they have this corny, they can play all those time signatures and everything, but get them to swing, and you can't. It's a different thing with the piano, and it belongs to
How
the
d- how do you
singing aspect.
how I mean, I know this is a overly simplified question, but how do you teach swing?
Yeah, well, you have to get piano players to, first of all, horn players. They should listen to horn players to transcribe by ear at half speed, whatever solos or soloists they love that are within that feeling. And of course, Bud Powell. Bud Powell at half speed is just as intense as he is at regular tempo. Wouldn't we all love to be Oscar Peterson? But Oscar's he's got things worked out and swinging as hell. But Bud, you never know from note to note that the exploration, and when he's on a good roll, some of the most brilliant, beautiful improvising, like Bird on the piano, because he is hearing the notes and he's singing them, even when they're very fast. It's always coming from this singing place. So you have to understand the eighth note for a piano player. Saxophone players, trumpet players, they play the eighth note correctly. But, is the piano player's eighth note, and it's not. It's swallowing notes and, finding where it is in the time, playing with the metronome. And then we play together. And they can instantly feel when they're not engaging me as an accompanist, or when they are. Because when they're engaging me, leaning on me,
Uh-huh.
they can actually feel now this magnetic, like I like to say, the two opposite poles of a magnet when you try to put them together when you're a kid, and they'd feel kind of funny, that
Yeah, yeah,
tension.
yeah,
And that's what I want them to feel. You're just getting so close to the time.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pushing this way, and you're pushing that way, and the time's going straight ahead. But it's this
yeah,
interplay between us. So it's a matter of
yeah,
getting them used to that. And above all, singing. They won't, I can't get a lot of them to sing the tune they're learning. They do all this other stuff. But even Oscar, when he's playing a tune, you hear him singing the tune. So anyway, that's my lecture for the day. And I have a good time. I have a good time. And it keeps me in touch with the feeling.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, before we go, I want to go back. Do you mind if I go back to the Mesro gig, or would you rather me play something else?
Well, it's a little bit dangerous. I never know from one tune to the next, but that was a good night. So let's see what else you got there.
Let's see at
Not last
Mesro.
month.
Well,
Not last.
here's not October, right?
No, I'd rather not. September was good. It's up to you, Kathy. I don't want to sit
I
here.
mean, your idea of bad is probably not
No, no,
bad,
no, no, no. It's
But yeah, the 1013 comes up. The May gig comes up, which is what I had heard before.
I'll just go to the next.
So, okay. Yeah, I
Wish me
love
luck.
that. Love the May gig. It was wonderful. Let's see. So,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
um,
Mm, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was weird. There was fluctuations there that I don't know if it was the time lag or whatever, but
Yeah. You mean
freezing
at the very end?
whole things. But hey, that's why Ron Marsh used to say when something was being recorded, we only get one chance to play it. You should only get one chance to hear it. That might have been one of those instances. But what the heck, you know, such is life.
I liked I liked it. Um, I'm gonna let's see. Oh, Taylor, Taylor, not me, but he said, I don't know if both of you have heard these records, but have been on my ears and brain this month. Arnold Schoenberg's piano music, performed by Paul Jacobs, and then Steve Reich's piano phase from 1967.
Yes, I know both of them. Um, the Paul Jacobs ones were the first that I ever heard of the performance of Opus 23 and things. So yeah, that was a special. In my days at Berklee, that was a moment of discovery for me. And see, I have this dichotomy too, where I'm a very traditional player, but I listen to Stockhausen, I listen to Pierre Boulez, um, to John Adams. Michael Toki is one of my favorites. Um, Roy Harris, I love. I could just list my whole library here. I have a wall full of scores that I've collected over many years. Um, but now, such is the way of the internet and everything, and my computer, my 1,000 scores are on this computer here right now. When I used to go on the road with Charlie, I'd take a load of scores, about half a ton, but now they're just on my
Yeah.
computer, and pull them up and enjoy them.
Yeah.
And the Schoenberg
Yeah.
Piano Concerto too, Taylor. Do you know the piano concerto? That's a wonderful thing. So, and
He
I,
would also totally. Oh, sorry.
no, just another aside that I'm a very big Yuja Wang fan. Yuja is probably, in my humble opinion, IMHO, as great as any of them in history. She's the most incredible pianist musician that I've ever heard in my life. So there you go.
Okay, Taylor. There you go. He said he thinks he does know that piano concerto you mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, I'm reading books on Schoenberg currently. My favorite book right now is a book that he and painter Kandinsky exchanging
Yes.
letters to each
Actually,
other.
yes, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And now he wants to know what's the funniest moment or experience you've had on a gig.
Oh, now that's something that I would have to,
Something very different. You don't have to think of it.
I would have to think of it. My
Oh.
gigs weren't funny. No. Uh, oh, I can't pull one out of. Oh, well, I remember with Nelson Riddle, we were doing an early morning uh, studio date at MGM in Studio B, which was a
Yeah.
small group, with Willie Schwartz and Harry Cle all these wonderful guys that played on the Sinatra albums and everything. But Nelson had this little TV show, and Studio B, there's a little lounge, and there's these huge soundproof doors, and you go in, and there's the little studio all set up. So what you do is you go in, and I just have a look at my parts. What have I got to play today? And I'm looking, and it's all tacit, tacit, tacit
Mhm.
for like 10 cues. I said, well, that's gonna last at least an hour. I'm good, whatever. I look at the second, said tacit, tacit, and there's one couple of chords. Yeah, okay. So I give my A, and I go out into the little seating area, where they have a coffee machine, and just sitting there. I forget what I was doing, reading the New Yorker or something. And about half an hour goes along, and Nelson was a huge man, and he had a voice to go along with that. When he was angry, there were some things I saw him do. Uh, that's another thing. But I heard this voice that I knew so well, this booming foghorn of a voice. The 2-inch thick soundproof doors were actually, and I said, "Oh, somebody in there is really getting it today." Then it died down. And finally, it's a break time, and the guys come piling out. They see me sitting there. Alan, where were you? Where were you? I said, well, I was here. Well, Nelson needed an A. Nelson, where's this piano player? I need an A. How dare he leave? So I knew from that day on to stay put, to stay in and just sit there. Oh, Nelson needed an A. And I came back in after the break. He never said a word. Just went on as if it had never happened. Oh, Nelson, yes, Nelson.
Oh God.
Anyway,
I have a funny little story for for some reason it came up because it was something I don't know, something about that story. So Tom Garvin told me this
Oh,
story. So he was on the road a little bit with who is the drummer on the Tonight Show?
oh, yeah, yeah, him.
Yeah, yeah, the real
Yeah,
Ed Shaughnessy.
yeah, Edge.
So they were on the road, and Tom, they were driving in a van, and so Tom had the back of the van, and so one night after the gig, he decided to walk home. So he told the band, I'm walking home, and he gets back to the hotel, and they're hanging out in the coffee shop, and so he goes in and sits down, and one guy says, "Yeah, it was really nice that Ed gave you all those compliments, wasn't it?" And Tom said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "In the car, in the van." And Tom said, "Well, I wasn't in the van." And they said, "Well, we didn't have the heart to tell Ed that."
Oh, I wish I was there, but
Apparently,
yeah,
Ed was like really talking a lot,
yeah.
Oh God.
He's-
There was another great piano player. I was talking about that with somebody the other day. You know, for in my experience, Tom Garvin and um, and Lou Matthews, they were they were accompanists made from heaven.
yeah,
I mean, and speaking of that, on that Irene Kral thing, especially your accompaniment was incredible. But so yeah, there's such an art to that, and I mean, it would be really nice to develop that or show it. In some of the venues that I've created, I've tried to create like whatever you want to call it, the old guys, like a
yeah.
show, like a consistent show of the old guys, man, to really hear and appreciate it and, what you're talking about as far as performing and bringing it to the people. You know, just, but it's a hard big sell, you
Yeah.
know. For the Mesro, it's probably perfect, but
If I
and
can,
I'm opening this new room again. Yeah, go ahead.
no, about, I usually don't play gigs too much with singers anymore, but they were
Yeah.
pressed for a piano player, Stella Cole, the young singer we talked about at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Her
Yeah.
piano player couldn't make this particular date, so I subbed. It was down at Princeton, and it was a 9 foot gorgeous Steinway. And Stella really hadn't had the experience of playing with somebody like me.
Yeah.
And it was like mind bending. And I could also relate to her because she sings the notes. She sings the
Yeah.
bloody notes and with
Yeah.
beautiful time. She's not a jazz singer per se,
Yeah.
but I had that feeling of engaging
Yeah.
her with me, and she responded. And it was a
Yeah.
very beautiful evening, I've got to say. And she was thrilled. So I was able to give her that experience between a piano player and a singer, which is
Yeah.
becoming a lost art in a way, especially
It
with younger
is. It's
singers.
really a shame.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feeling.
when it's
When Samara Joy was first
oh yeah,
singing out, she did an astounding gig with Tamir Hendelman at the Catalinas. She must have been 21.
yeah,
I've never heard anything better. I mean,
yeah.
it was stunning.
Oh,
And
she's been
Tamir was really
yeah,
playing, and yeah,
like
but she was
like her and,
21.
and Stella. They're both been singing that stuff since they were like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
know the music. And Samara, she's uh, she's trained that she listened to Ella when she was a little girl. She listened to all those things.
yeah,
And she knows her chords. She knows her
yeah,
scales, you know. So that's that training that we suddenly these people appear, but they have a history behind them. Um,
yeah.
so They're still around, like we are.
Yeah.
It'll never go away. I don't know what the
Yeah.
music business has to do with any of us, but it's this feeling again, which
Yeah.
is just very human and a life force, as Tristano would say. This creating art, musical art out of a feeling. So there you go.
Yeah. I I think about that a lot these days. My voice has been a little problematic in the last 10 years, and I've been working on it. But
Yours? What about mine?
mine,
No.
well, here, the Vocal Zone. Okay, Judy Silvano knows about these. Vocal Zone from England through Amazon. Really good. It doesn't cure what you have, but it actually cleans up immediately.
Good stuff.
But anyway, what I was going to tell you was, what was I going to tell you? I have no concept of what I was going to say. So I guess I'll just move on. Uh, I'm reopening this venue with a friend of mine, this great
Wait,
singer named Sid Jacobs. And
Sid. Oh, wow. Sid. Yeah.
not the guitar player, the
Oh,
singer.
no. I know the singer. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
cool.
Sid.
He's really a beautiful singer.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the first time I'm creating a venue with somebody. I've usually just do it all myself. I just,
Mm.
and if I don't have everything together, it's fine. I'm just creating the best that I can create. But anyway, so we actually got a piano in the room. It's a small, intimate room that holds about 45 people. Great sound system, recording capabilities. So we're really excited, and we're starting to book a lot of people in there.
Where
And
is this?
uh, it's downtown behind Disney Hall.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
inside a Thai vegan restaurant called Olak, which is incredible food. There's a chef who has created a beautiful menu.
I
So
know
I
that
used to book it before the pandemic.
I know that area only because it was a place where you could find parking for free and then walk up to.
That's not the case anymore
No,
exactly. Well,
no,
I
I
guess you
get it.
can find parking, but
No.
it's not that expensive. But
Well, I wish you all the success with that. We need more of these.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Um, well, thank you so much for spending 2 hours with me. It's really
Thank
kind of
you.
you.
Thank you, Kat.
But it's been really great to speak with you and share you with people coming on, and
Yeah.
checking out the Noontime Hang. Um, did you want to tell us anything? Is anything new coming that we should be aware of?
Um, no, I have a sextet album that's already out.
Okay.
That's on the Jazz Weekly charts for a while with my New
What
York.
is the name of it?
It's called Threads of Time. And
Okay, I'm gonna go listen.
New York guys, my tunes again. So
Okay, so I'm writing that
uh,
down. Threads of Time is Alan's latest recording.
and if I can just continue, there's YouTube, something I'm proud of the London Metropolitan String Orchestra doing my arrangement of Strange Meadowlark from Dave Brubeck.
Oh,
I was able to honor Dave from my 14-year-old experiences with that song and the harmonies. And one more is my legit music, which is on YouTube. It's 5 movements. You might have to find them, but it's called the Americana Suite, which is my uh, debt payment, whatever you want to call it, giving back to this country that has given me a life, such as it is. No, 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 I'm serious. I love this country and I hope it survives the next few years.
me
Um,
too.
It's given me everything, my music, my wife, my family, my train ride into the city, New York. So here I am.
Well,
Thank you,
we're glad
Cathy.
to have
Thank you so much for
welcome,
this.
Alan.
Yeah,
Such a beautiful hang. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Have a lovely, lovely evening.
It'll be cold.
It's cold already.
Yes.
Okay. It's
Yeah. Can't
really
have
hot
anything.
today.
You can't have anything.
Today we
Huh?
went outside in the backyard at 9:30 a.m. and it was hot.
I
It's very
know.
unusual.
I know.
So
I know. You don't have to rub it in. I remember winter in LA, it would be sometime in January. The hairs on my arm would get a little cold, so I put on a long sleeve shirt. But
it's
okay.
changed a little, the
Yeah.
planet has turned.
Oh
All right,
God.
Alan, thank you so much,
All right,
man.
Kathy, thanks for everything.
Thank
Soon.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, guys. And we'll see you next week
Bye,
with
Jim.
John Armato. Yeah, bye, Jim.